Imagine waking up on a normal Tuesday morning. People were going to work. Children were heading to school. The sky above New York City was clear and blue. Nothing seemed unusual. But within a few hours, the entire world would stop and watch in shock. Thousands of lives would be changed forever. And America would enter a new era. This is the story of September 11, 2001. The day that changed history. On the morning of September 11th, New York City was beginning another busy day. Workers filled the streets of Manhattan. Tourists gathered around famous landmarks. Inside the World Trade Center, thousands of people had already arrived at their offices. The Twin Towers stood proudly above the city skyline. For years they had symbolized American strength and economic power. No one knew that in just a few hours, both towers would be gone. At 8:46 in the morning, everything changed. A passenger airplane crashed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center. People across the city froze in disbelief. Many believed it was a terrible accident. News stations immediately began broadcasting live images. Smoke poured from the side of the tower. Millions watched in confusion. Then, 17 minutes later, another airplane appeared. This time the entire world saw it happen live. The second plane slammed into the South Tower. At that moment, everyone realized this was no accident. America was under attack. Panic spread across New York City. People ran through the streets. Sirens echoed everywhere. Emergency workers rushed toward danger while thousands fled away from it. Inside the towers, firefighters climbed stairways carrying heavy equipment. Many knew the risks. Yet they continued upward. Their mission was simple. Save as many lives as possible. As smoke filled the buildings, office workers searched desperately for exits. Some managed to escape, others became trapped above the impact zones. Telephone lines were flooded with final calls to loved ones. Messages of hope. Messages of courage. Messages that would never be forgotten. Meanwhile, another hijacked plane struck the Pentagon near Washington, D.C. The attack was no longer limited to New York. The entire nation was under threat. Airports across America were shut down. Every commercial airplane in U.S. airspace was ordered to land immediately. It was an unprecedented moment. Never before had the American skies been cleared so quickly. Then came another shocking development. Passengers aboard United Airlines Flight 93 learned about the attacks. They realized their aircraft was also being used as a weapon. Instead of accepting their fate, they fought back. A struggle broke out on board. The plane crashed into a field in Pennsylvania before reaching its target. The passengers sacrificed their lives but likely saved countless others. Back in New York, conditions inside the Twin Towers were becoming critical. Fire weakened the steel structures. The intense heat continued to spread. Then, at 9:59 a.m., the South Tower collapsed. Millions watching television could hardly believe what they were seeing. A skyscraper that had stood over New York for decades disappeared in seconds. A massive cloud of dust rolled through the streets. People ran for safety. Emergency workers continued searching for survivors. But the nightmare was not over. At 10:28 a.m., the North Tower also collapsed. The skyline of New York changed forever. Where two massive towers once stood, only smoke and debris remained. The attacks killed nearly 3,000 people. Victims came from more than 90 countries. They were office workers, firefighters, police officers, passengers, parents, friends, children. The tragedy touched families around the world. In the days that followed, America united in grief. Rescue teams worked around the clock. Thousands searched through the rubble hoping to find survivors. People traveled from across the country to help. Flags appeared everywhere. Memorials filled city streets. Candles burned through the night. The nation mourned together. The attacks also changed global history. Airport security became stricter. Governments introduced new anti-terrorism measures. Military operations began overseas. International politics shifted dramatically. The effects of September 11th are still felt today. Years later, a memorial was built at Ground Zero. 2 reflecting pools now stand where the Twin Towers once rose above New York. The names of every victim are carefully engraved around them. Visitors from around the world come to remember those who lost their lives. For younger generations, September 11th is history. For those who lived through it, it remains a memory they will never forget. Many can still remember exactly where they were when they heard the news. Exactly what they felt. Exactly how the world suddenly seemed different. The story of 9/11 is not only about tragedy. It is also about courage. Firefighters running into danger while others escaped. Passengers aboard Flight 93 choosing to fight back. Ordinary people helping strangers. Communities supporting one another during the darkest moments. History often remembers disasters. But it also remembers the courage shown during them. More than 2 decades later, the events of September 11th remain one of the most significant moments in modern history. A day that shocked the world. A day that changed America forever. And a day that reminds us how quickly life can change. If you enjoyed this historical documentary, subscribe to the Story Files for more true stories, forgotten events, and world-changing moments from history.